morning, we're going to have a little TED Talk. Maybe not a TED Talk, Berta Talk. So, did the headline trigger you? I'm going to preface with bipolar is definitely a chemical imbalance in the brain. There are a lot of chemical imbalances in your brain that cause a lot of things. However, hold on, get your pills because they might be hard to swallow. Get plenty of water. I have been dancing with this bipolar bitch for a long time. I was diagnosed almost 20 years ago. Oliver, get down. And I've been on meds for I was on meds for 8 years. My journey started like such. I was born into trauma. I continued to live in trauma for a long time of my life, into my adulthood. Unresolved trauma. Blah, blah, blah. I finally my brain broke for a second, and I needed medication to help stabilize. And I was on medication for about 8 years until I finally was like, it's enough. Like, I was having to increase my medication. And I was feeling less of myself, feeling very black and white. And my body was absolutely responding to all of that with my liver having issues and all sorts of other issues. So yeah, compounded all of that. Plus the 14 years I'd spent intellectualizing the fuck out of things through school. The therapy that I've had over the years and the all of the stuff that, I learned about me along the way. It was about 6 years ago that I made the decision to stop being on meds. And Juniper's going to make a little visit today. Hi. So it's ferret time too. So no meds for 6 years. And let me tell you what I've learned in 6 years. 1, food plays a huge, huge, huge fucking role in your brain. If you don't realize that by now, y'all just, we are... Do I feel empathy for bipolar folk? No, I don't feel empathy for those people. Those people need to go find some help, okay? Good question. I do, well, maybe a little bit of empathy because, I really can feel their struggle sometimes. Before I was diagnosed as bipolar, which happens right around 28 years old, I definitely my brain was just not in the right space, right? I was coming from a place of trauma. I was coming from a place of reactiveness. And I'm going to just go back to that for a second because I apologize. That sucks. And bipolar people can be narcissists. Bipolar people can be sociopaths. Let's talk about getting to that though. I refuse, I don't manipulate people. I have to turn that off. Anyway, yeah. I came from trauma in my life. So my brain up in here, all my circuits and shit, my neurons and neurological firings got all fucked up starting from an extremely early age. Extremely early age. So my disconnects in my brain were misfiring for all these years, right? And I didn't know how to react to things positively because I never had a really good role model in my life. My father is an alcoholic. My biological father is an alcoholic. I was on eggshells. I had a lot of abuse and trauma in my life that I will not put here, but it fucking affects your brain as a child, motherfucker. Let me tell you, probably if I hadn't had all that trauma in my life and all of that chaos in my life, I could guarantee you I might not have spun into this crazy bipolar bullshit. Maybe. But it's hard to say because it's you can't transport yourself back to where you were. I can say, absolutely. PTSD sucks. I have PTSD. I fall into PTSD triggers more than I fucking want to. It raises your anxiety. It raises all of your spidey senses. It puts you on fight or flight all the time. Your adrenal system gets fucked up. And when I tell you your adrenal system is huge in your body, it absolutely is. Like, you got to figure out how to regulate yourself. And if you don't learn how to regulate yourself from a young age, what chance do you have as an adult? So that's where I was at 28, right? I started therapy for a couple years before I wanted to be on meds, before I made the decision to go on meds, because honestly, I scared myself. And the way that my body was reacting to things scared myself. Yes. Oh, God. Sweetie, you and I need to talk, because getting into the studio can be one of the hardest things for me. If I didn't have ferrets, I wouldn't be in here as much. I could tell you that. Because my ferrets share the studio space. Absolutely. So yeah, I was so afraid of myself without meds when I was around 28, that like my skin would crawl. Like, there are so many, your body holds on to all of those memories and those traumatic things. And honestly, like, again, if you don't know how to cope with it in a healthy way, you're going to manifest it in lots of different ways in your body, in illness, stress, anxiety, like so many other things, right? Yeah. So I was on meds for 8 years. 8 years. And I finally came off meds because my liver was in distress. I only got one of those, right? And the rest of my body, like my naturopath and my nutritionist looked at me on my blood work and said, "How are you walking?" I don't know. I had shit to do, right? So coping, you got to figure it out in your own way. Like, I use art. Art is my therapy, and art has been my therapy for 2 decades now. It really, really has been. That's been the one thing that has allowed me to process a lot of the negative shit that's happened in my life. And when I say art, I'm going to encompass writing. I'm going to encompass any other creative aspect of my life. SSRI, I don't know. I was on Abilify and Lamictal on the highest doses. And the effects on the liver, see, that's the thing, is you just got to pull yourself up to do that art, sweetie. Like, the art will pull you out. Does that make sense? Like, sometimes, okay, and it goes back to the song by Brandy Carlisle, The Eye. You can't dance in a hurricane unless you're standing in the eye. And that means in the middle of a fucking shitstorm, you have to find the way to pull yourself into that creative space. If that means sitting down with the crayons and a coloring book, or a pen and a paper, or some markers, or canvas, or paint. It doesn't even matter what it is. Or a hula hoop, or a jump rope, or some music. Really, like, my biggest strength has been finding that creativity has pulled me the fuck out of this so many ways. And I'm not gonna, let's go back to bipolar there for a second. Now, I could tell people I'm bipolar and they'll look at me and laugh. You know, I'm a little bit batshit crazy, batshit passionate. And all of the bipolar has influenced my art because it's given me a way to push all of it out. I puke out everything on canvas. Bipolar has allowed me to reach the extremes of emotions. You gotta find the eye, sweetie. PM me. We'll help you find it. That's what I'm good at. I'm that light, right? I'm a lighthouse, for sure, in so many ways. But having the ability to turn something crazy in my head into something beautiful, into something evocative, into something emotionally charged has been the biggest conductor of healing that I've had through everything. Now, I've been off meds for 6 years now. Do I feel like I am, I'm going to PM you and Julia in a little bit. Passionate. You got to fuel that sometimes. Sometimes green medicine helps, if you know what I mean, Jelly Bean. We'll just put it there. On my meds, I felt so low energy. It was a struggle for me to do anything. Meds lower your energy. Really, they lower your energetic vibration. And that's shitty. And so back to all of that. We are all forced as people, as a society, to fit in a box. Are we not? Like, think about this. As soon as we open our little eyes coming out of our mom's vajayjay, or however we got here, yes, they are. Absolutely, Julia, they are. We're societally constructed to act a certain way, to be a certain way, familial structures, they absolutely dictate all of that. What kind of socioeconomic statuses you're brought into, what kind of traumas you're being brought into, what kind of awesome things you're being brought up into. I mean, all of our experiences in life absolutely make up who we are. I mean, a lot of shitty shit happened to me in the past, and honestly, if they never happened, I probably wouldn't be here, so I don't hate them, and I've gotten through them, and it's taken a long fucking time. However, who knows what I would have been like had I actually had a childhood that wasn't full of trauma and rage and all kinds of other things. I mean, I probably wouldn't have had a baby at 15. Yes, I want to do those. Looking for my platform, definitely. Expressive art is exactly what I want to be into. Workshops. I want to help people be their best selves. And I can relate to a lot of stupid, crappy shit that's happened in your lives, right? Like, I had a baby at 15, had trauma. I have been, thanks. I have been through a lot of shit. A lot of fucking shit. And never had the luxury. Oh boy, another group. I have one that I want to talk to you about. I think I might have invited you already. But, yeah. What's the fucking key? Well, yeah, I'm bipolar, but you know what that really fucking means? It means that when something, if I'm here most of the time, and something's shifting this way or shifting this way, for whatever fucking reason, like, if I'm going below or above any extremes, something's out of whack, really. If I'm on the low end, I've probably not had sleep. I've probably not been feeding myself. I probably haven't been taking care of myself. My energies are low. I feel like shit. I don't really feel like fueling that good part of me. And it's hard. My wife is amazing, and she helps me through so much of this, because she sees it's an imbalance. What do I need? Usually, it's a really long nap. If you hear me getting all shit on myself and just not feeling like I can accept my accomplishments or accept any compliments, my energy is just not in a good place, right? Like, but then y'all see me manic too. And that just sort of is just like, that's just artistic. And yeah, there's also something to work out. Maybe I just haven't made art in a while and I'm feeling anxious and I want to make a bunch of art. Like, as an artist, if all y'all artists out there that can understand this, there is not art without a little bit of fucking crazy. Not real good art. Like, you can go study all the crap at all academies, but if you haven't made it yours, oh yeah, dude, that's bipolar 1, sweetie pie. It's a fucking roller coaster is what it is. It's an amusement park. No, don't let your boyfriend make you feel bad. Because your boyfriend is probably normal. And normal people don't fucking understand it unless they're empathic. And my wife is amazingly empathic and understands that 2 hours a day of a fucking nap is honestly a minimum. And if it doesn't happen, my brain's feeling a little wonky. Like, I didn't nap yesterday. It was a struggle to get through the rest of the evening. Because by the time I got to be able to nap, it was already like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it was just a struggle. Because your brain... There's a thing that happens in your brain when you sleep. It washes it. Washes your brain. Whoosh, whoosh. There's a chemical. There's a fluid, literally, that happens in your brain. Whoosh, whoosh. Yeah, it does that. So, yeah, I go way up here and way down here. And I like to live in here somewhere. So it's kind of difficult. Society wants us to work 40 hours a week. Right? Yes, you need sleep. If without sleep, your brain cannot function. Sleep is so necessary to good brain function. I get like 10 hours of sleep a night and take a 2-hour nap. So I'm really only awake 12 hours a day. Maybe. Sometimes less. And I'm okay with that. We are not designed as individuals, as human beings, to kill ourselves not fucking sleeping and working all the time. It's not healthy. Our circadian rhythms. Oh yeah, if you see at the lower end, that's difficult. Yep, essential oils are good. I use melatonin. On particularly the hard nights, I use Seroquel. Because Benadryl hardly even touches it anymore when my brain's just like, and let me think about this and this and this and this. And let me tell you, I haven't been dreaming. Well, okay, I've been dreaming. My dreams have been so fucking busy. They've been busy and crazy and lots of people and moving and moving and moving and moving. So don't feel rested sometimes, even though I've had 10 hours. Yeah. And bipolar is not the same for everyone. But society needs to stop trying to, like, put us in a fucking box, right? Like, in this box that people think we can just live in, doesn't work. It doesn't work. I struggle with that sometimes because I want to work a 40-hour week. I'm still trying to, but now I have Lyme. So, yes, 524,000 pop-ups. And we just got to keep going through all of them, and I can't get them all. You're right. That's legit what happens. I go to at night, sleep thinking about art things, thinking about problems, thinking about all sorts of things. Like, I should be writing it all before I go to bed. Maybe that would help. Dump your brain. I just haven't gotten to that routine yet. Working on my routines. Feast or famine here in this world. It's difficult. It's just difficult when you don't know what you're going to deal with each day. So, like, yes, well, I'll be your friend. I don't need to be your mom. I got 2 kids already. And ferrets and cats and stuff. But yeah. Yeah, I know, legit, the pandemic has sucked for all the people. I'm home. If y'all haven't figured it out yet, I'm home. I've been home for 6 weeks. Waiting for my short-term disability claim to be accepted so I don't feel like I'm home and going to be sinking financially. Yeah, that struggle's real. Because when you go to try to take care of yourself, you got to take time off work. And not everybody has the luxury of having all the dollars to, like, do that, right? My doctor took me out at the last minute. Let me tell you, that bitch has stressed me out. I'm looking for a new doctor. I cannot physiologically get stressed out like that over someone that's supposed to be helping me because of her lack of time. And maybe that's my own whatever. But I really think that practitioners need to really, like... I think she took on too much, and I think I'm going to be respectfully leaving her practice because I need someone that has more time for me. It's not needy. It's necessary because I only have like this much time in the big span of things before I gotta like figure out how I'm going back to work, right? Disabilities suck fucking balls. What can you do about it? You can work around it. You can find the things that work for you. Lyme sucks. Chronic pain sucks. I go to a GI tomorrow, see what's going on the inside, because there is definitely stuff going on the inside. Actually, I mean, she's in integrative medicine, but I don't think she's looking as hard as she needs to be looking. I don't think she's looking in the right places. I'm telling her things. I feel like that they're not being addressed. So, yeah, they don't listen sometimes. And I think what probably was the straw that broke the camel's back is she wants me coming in for the 24th, which is fine, but she's not doing blood work before I get there, and it's been 4 months since blood work, and there are definitely baseline things you could be checking before I come to your fucking office almost an hour away and spend my money and time with you during my nap time. Because it's during my nap time, just about, and that's going to make me cranky. That's just, let me tell you, I need structure. I need some semblance of structure in my life. More than I have. It's hard for me to give myself structure sometimes. I joke that after 14 years of academics and of college, I need a syllabus. And I joke that I'm actually going to write the syllabus for your life workbooks in my free time, right? With my other stuff. Yeah. So where was I going with all this bipolar shit? It's for reals. And people deal with it in different ways. But I think society is just too fucking assholey. The assholios have been in charge too long. And nobody has empathy. And nobody gives a fuck about family structure. Yep. Structure is hard. And nobody cares about downtime. And there are things like fatigue that happens because we're working in this society that doesn't work for us. Doesn't work for us as humans. Not as like effective humans. Like, we should be taking some of those European roles and having fucking siestas in the afternoon, damn it. That would help everybody. I think people, you're right. Right. And you know what? I'm making me money. That's all I gotta do, right? I just have to like, that's where I need to get all my shit done. But what's good, because I got Dragon Speak for my computer. My old computer that I bought in 2011. Oh my God. It's still kicking. It's almost 10 years old. And that'll be easier to write business planning because then I could just talk into it. That's been my biggest is because my fingers are just not where they were anymore. So I need to talk. And that's fine. And yeah. All the ideas. I need an accountability team. I need a whole bunch of people to make sure that I'm okay. I'm doing what I need to do for the other people because all my plans are for bigger people. For all the other people. They're not even just... I want a town. I want a mall. I want to start a community, not a cult. Not a religion. But how do you do that? How do you do that when you're trying to fix yourself? Well, you gotta do the plans. Yep. That's where my brain is. And I'm watching ferrets at the same time. Because it's ferret time. Here, look. There we go. Oliver's watching well, not watching. But ferret time. There's ferrets over there. I promise. There's ferrets over there. But yeah. We're broken. We are a fucking broken society that wants to produce a bunch of robots and people that don't feel or care and just are workhorses, and I'm not down for that. That's not where I've ever been. Yeah. And I think us, yes, the kitty is nice to them. But he is just relaxing now. But yeah. That's all I got, I think. It's Monday. I've been manic most of the weekend, actually. I could tell because my thoughts race a little bit more. I have to be careful not to, like, run into things. I get clumsy when I get manic. But, yeah. Hope y'all have a wonderful morning. Have a good week. And private message me, yo, if you need some ideas. I'm here. I'm here to help you. I promise. Talk to y'all soon.